I was always a Nintendo kid. Super Mario 64 was my shit. But I am, and always was, an omni-gamer, continuously seeking out new experiences, which admittedly there was more incentive to do when every game wasn't cross-platform. Anyway, I may have preferred the N64, I got blisters from Mario Party for fuck's sake. I enjoyed my fair share of PS1 games. When I was a kid, I even had a dream that I played my PS1 in my car. I have never done that in real life. I only played my GameCube in my car. But the thing that gets me about the PS1 dream is that the game was projected on the windshield. Good luck driving, Mom! Today we are talking about the original Ape Escape. The notable thing about this game is that it is the first PlayStation game to require the use of a DualShock controller. I know we tend to think of this controller as the default one, or at least I do, but it was released almost 3 years after the PlayStation was released. The first PlayStation controller didn't even have analog sticks. It feels wrong, doesn't it? The second controller introduced was the dual analog controller. It's not that different from the DualShock, except that the American and European models of the controller couldn't vibrate. The Japanese versions did. So Sony discontinued the dual analog controller and replaced it with the DualShock that we all know. Unlike the dual analog, all regions had the vibration feedback. The older controllers were phased out and many games started requiring the DualShock. Ape Escape was the first game to do so. So, Ape Escape was kind of my childhood, and honestly seems to have faded out of memory. When it comes up, people do go, yeah, I remember that. Good game. But beyond that, it doesn't seem to come up much. We begin with Spike, who is visiting a professor who's building a time machine. As you do.
He said he'd be finished with it today. Let's go.
The first thing that you'll notice is that the voice acting, it's pretty bad.
I can't wait to check out the dinosaurs. And what about the future?
Yeah, we'll keep talking, because I'm going first.
You know, Spike actually kind of sounds like Cinco Man.
Are you asking for a challenge?
The professor is trying way too hard to be badass.
You're the monkey that performs at the amusement park.
Natalie just sounds bored.
What's going on here? What are you planning to do?
An ape named Spectre commandeered the time machine. He also has psychic powers.
It's no use!
It works. It actually works.
How do you know that you haven't just vaporized a bunch of apes?
Spike, can you hear me? You must listen carefully. Something awful has happened. There's been an accident.
More like sabotage.
Spectre has sent the apes back in time to try to change the course of history.
Well, if you're sending me this message, then Spectre must not have succeeded.
You did great.
And you're doing, well, I'm not even sure what you're doing. A-type-a-type-a-type-a. Now we are getting into one of my major gripes with this game. The tedious tutorials. Every time you come near a red mailbox, it forces you to read it. Oh, what? You wanted to continue playing the game? Well, fuck you! Every new gadget has you go to the training room for a tutorial. Most of the tutorials are short, but they can get annoying. Moving the camera can be awkward since you have to use the D-pad to do so, which feels weird because you have to use your left thumb, which is what you use to move. So either only move the camera while stationary or get into some awkward hand positions.
Hello, Professor. Remember me? It's me, Spectre.
Spectre has one hell of a badass voice. Slightly awkward, I'll admit, but honestly it fits. Better than the rest of the voice acting, at least.
The future is mine!
We're not gonna stand around and let you take over.
We'll just stand around and have a kid do all the work. Also, it turns out that Spike's friend, Jake, has been brainwashed. Dun dun dun! Your main goal is to capture a certain number of apes in a stage. You have a variety of tools. The stun club is used to kill enemies and stun apes. The monkey net is what you use to catch the apes. The monkey radar lets you examine apes and find their location. An existential philosopher, huh? How do we know what is banana? These are the 3 gadgets you will keep on your person at all times, except maybe for boss battles. The dash hoop gives you temporary super speed, and you can ram into things.
Oh, bitch, get out the way, get out the way, bitch, get out the way.
The slingback shooter lets you shoot things. The Skyflyer gives you limited flight and gliding capabilities. The RC car can stand on switches and force apes out of hiding. There is one more gadget that you can get after beating the game once, but we'll talk about that later. Your health is represented by cookies of all things. Got hit with a bomb and all I lost was my lunch. Now we travel through the ethereal color wheel of time while going to various periods in the past.
In this next period, you'll find that most of the planet is covered with water.
Like it is now? There are a variety of non-ape enemies, like this Yoshi-looking motherfucker who always shoots from off-screen. Also some evil bloody snowmen. The most annoying enemies are these spinning guys. They are invulnerable when spinning. They only stop spinning when they either miss you or hit you, and dodging them is no easy feat. I didn't figure out how to dodge them until playing the game for this review. Hey, remember Jake? He has his own special levels where you have to beat him in a race to get Spectre coins. You can also get Spectre coins around the levels. But back to Jake. You race in a place called Dimension X. Because extreme! The races are actually pretty easy once you know what you're doing. The main reason you collect Spectre coins is to unlock minigames. The first one is Ski Kids Racing, which is a ski game with horrible controls. Like the rest of the game, there's still the gimmick of using the analog sticks as much as possible. Here, it doesn't work, like at all. No matter what I do, I can never seem to get anything but last place. It's more frustrating than anything. Then there is Spectre Boxing, which is a fine game, I guess. It's not exactly a game you will want to replay, but it's harmless. Finally, there is Monkey Madness, which is pretty good, I guess. It plays decently, and the enemies are pretty well designed. What the fuck is that? Most of the minigames aren't terrible, except Ski Kids! But you won't be playing them for very long. Oh, he split his skull diving? That sounds horrible. Make sure and be extra gentle with this guy. Come here, motherfucker! At one point, we travel into the stomach of a dinosaur named Dexter. His stomach is covered in glass. We can swim in digestive fluid as well. He also ate a ship. Well, someone definitely died here. Just not us for some reason. We can see here that the Shadow Realm doesn't like barrels.
You're heading towards the Ice Age. It will be extremely cold in this next area.
Which is why I am in a t-shirt and shorts. Given that this is an early PS1 game, it runs into some graphical issues. The perspective can be wonky. Textures can disappear and the draw distance is short. Sometimes they don't even design with the draw distance in mind. So I go along, capturing apes and beating levels until I come to a castle. Unlike other levels, we don't have a set number of apes to capture. Instead, we are tasked with capturing Spectre. Before capturing him, we are able to capture most of the apes in the level, except one, thanks to his box. Thanks, box! After capturing all but one ape, I confront Spectre, but instead I fight some knight with electric powers. After that, we head back to the present, named Futurama. Apparently the present is the future.
What's going on here?
But something seems off. The apes have taken over the world.
Woo! Please help me!
And they like harassing random men. Also, Natalie and the professor have been kidnapped by Spectre. Natalie even disappears from the level end screen. That's a pretty cool moment. When I first played this game, I didn't expect to head back to the present, or for Spectre to gain any type of upper hand for that matter. It's not the biggest twist I've ever seen, but for the video game equivalent of a goofy Saturday morning cartoon show, it's not bad. The professor's AI program gives us the rundown.
You're now being transported to Spectre's base area. His exact location is unknown.
Basically, we gotta fuck Spectre up. First, we have to take care of his factory. It was then that Spike knew he had fucked up. After taking care of the factory, I head to a skyscraper. Again, I go to capture Spectre. And like the last time, there's one monkey we can't get yet. We actually fight Spectre.
What are you doing?
After beating up a jet, as you do, you beat the level.
Well done. I am impressed.
How did you survive?
I won't be beaten by you. Now return all my friends.
And Spike sounds bored.
Hey, wait a minute. Where do you think you're going? Wait!
Spike's voice acting is about as emotive as a dead Vulcan. Spectre escapes again, and now we head into a mega level. Spectreland. It is easily the size of 3 levels. I also love the Spectreland music.
Hello?
To rescue Natalie, we go through some roller coaster. Which is fucking bullshit because the roller coaster goes so fast you can't react without already knowing what's ahead, and you're probably going to die a couple times before you figure it out. Beyond that, the draw distance is not long enough for this. Maybe the roller coaster cabin didn't take up so much space, but it does, so you can't see a fucking thing.
Oh, what a predicament I'm in. I need to get out of here and back to the lab. Do you think you can help me?
Sure, but how do I get in there?
Yeah, you already are. Spike has to defeat a demented clown with bomb balloons. As you do. Yeah, you better run!
Okay, I'll go back to the lab and fix the equipment.
Nice work, Big Nose.
It could be dangerous, so promise me that you'll be careful.
I will. Whoa!
What? What? Big up, what? We finally fight Jake in a boss battle.
Jake, are you okay?
I can't remember what I've been doing.
Sometimes I wish I could challenge my own self.
With my new powers and my superior intelligence, it would be so easy to put you under my control.
I don't want to! I won't! Wow!
How the hell did Spike deflect Spectre's psychic powers?
Why aren't they working?
Power alone isn't the true strength.
But I want to be strong in the real way.
I'm taking you back to the amusement park.
You must be joking! You're not taking me anywhere! I'll never go back! I'm never going back to that rotten place!
You know, he's got a point. I know Spectre is evil and all and trying to take over the world, but it still feels weird that Spike, the hero, is essentially trying to rip Spectre's sentience from him and force him into slavery in an amusement park. And all Spike really says to Spectre is that he should go back to the amusement park. He doesn't go, "Stop trying to take over the world," or "I need to defeat you," but "Go back to your humiliating job without your sentience." So Spectre escapes again, but we have beaten the game once now, so we get the final gadget, the Magic Punch. It is the only gadget that I use to replace the Stun Club because it also serves the purpose of hitting things. It is also able to smash through certain parts of certain walls, and it is even able to destroy those ape boxes. So I go and capture the rest of the remaining apes, and it's time for the final showdown. For real this time.
Someone's got to teach you that you can't conquer the world. Give it up.
You attack Spectre a few times until he starts smoking. Don't ask me how that works. Spectre is finally caught and returned to his trainer, and man, he just looks tired.
We deserve a break. Everyone grab a spoon and take a break with pudding.
So that was Ape Escape. It's not as good as my childhood remembers, but it's still a fun and goofy game. It's not my favorite PS1 game, but it still has a charm of its own. It's a silly distraction, but it still has its faults. Even as a child, this was my least favorite Ape Escape game. Honestly, it just lacks some personality. It's not a bad game, I just like Ape Escape 2 more. Webmaster, huh? So I know who to blame for this.